Alright guys, so this is 9.6. We're factoring ax squared plus bx plus c. Our learning target is that I can recognize and factor quadratic expressions completely, okay, using the unfoil or AC method. Alright, we call it the AC method because I'm going to show you we're going to multiply a times c here. Alright, we'll see what that looks like in a little bit. Alright, so a quadratic expression, okay, in standard form is written ax squared plus bx plus c. Alright, so that's our standard form. Okay, the quadratic term is ax squared. Alright, so that first part there, that's our quadratic term. Alright, the linear term, okay, is our bx. So just bx. Okay, and the constant, we know that a constant is a number that doesn't have a variable, so that's going to be my c. Alright, so let's go to our table. So we have a quadratic expression here. Alright, we know how to find the degree. That's when I count up the exponents with my variables. So that's a 2, that's a 1, that's 0. Alright, so this should be a review. So the degree would be the highest term, alright, which is a 2. Okay, that's because that exponent. Alright, the leading coefficient of this is the number in the very front when it's written in descending order. So this is in descending order, so it's the first number there, a 2. Okay, my quadratic term is always my term that has the x squared, the term, so that means the whole thing. Alright, 2x squared. My linear term is this here, it's negative x. Okay, and my constant is negative 6. Okay, my term without the variable is called my constant. Alright, go ahead and pause this. You guys fill that out yourselves. Alright, I'm going to go through it in a second. Alright, so my degree should be 2, 1, 0. So the highest one is a 2 because of that exponent. Alright, my leading coefficient is the very first number when it's written in descending order, so that's a 3. My quadratic term is the one with the squared, so 3x squared. Alright, my linear term is this one here, that's 11x. Alright, and my constant is a 10. Okay, then my number without the variable there. Alright, so let's take a look, alright, at actually factoring these. Now these, you'll notice, when we did problems the other way, alright, last lesson, okay, this number here, alright, it was always just x squared. Now we're going to look at it when I have a number there, alright, something other than 1. Before, the a would have been a 1 because there was nothing there. Now we're going to have numbers there, whether it be 2 or 9, alright, they're going to be some kind of a term. Alright, so we're going to need to use this box, and we'll show you what we do with that. Alright, so my first step is always remove the GCF first. Alright, so I have 2, 7, and negative 15. Alright, so I know there's no GCF there because 7 is prime. Alright, so if 7's in there, unless I can take a 7 out of these, I know I don't have a GCF. So the only GCF would really be 1, or I'm just going to say no GCF because I'm not going to take out a 1. Okay, so for my product here, the only thing that's different about this than the other lesson is that my product is my A term times my C term. So that means 2 times negative 15. That's what's going to be my product. So for here, I'm going to do 2. Okay, because remember this is ax squared plus bx plus c. So I do a times c. 2 times negative 15. So my product is negative 30. Okay, my sum is still the same thing as the other day. It's going to be 7. Okay, so what I want to do is figure out what I can multiply to get 30. All right, so negative 30, right? So I know I can do 5 times 6, 5 times negative 6 will give me negative 30. 5 plus negative 6 equals negative 1. That doesn't equal 7. That's no good. All right, how about something like 10 times negative 3? 10 times negative 3 is 30. 10 plus negative 3 is 7. So that's it. Okay. All right, so now I have this box. What goes in this box? All right, in my top left goes my quadratic term. Okay, I always put my quadratic term in the top left. Quadratic term, top left. All right, what goes in the bottom right? My constant term. So negative 15. Constant term, bottom right. Okay, now in these two boxes, I'm going to take these two numbers, the numbers that I found. I get a 10 and a negative 3. All right, now the only thing you have to remember is whatever my linear term was, I had an x there, so I put an x here. All right, and that's how I use my box. All right, now I go left to right. All right, and I want to take out my GCF between 2x squared and negative 3x. All right, so my GCF from left to right. 2 and negative 3, there's nothing there, but x squared and x, I can take out an x. All right, 10 and negative 15, I know I can take out a 5. All right, I'm going to go down here. All right, 2 and 10, what's my GCF between 2 and 10? I know I can take out a 2, and x squared and x, what can I take out of those? I can take out an x. All right, I'm going to go down here. I have negative 3 and negative 15. All right, a little hint here. Anytime that this first term is negative, so I'm going down, the first one is negative. I don't want to worry about this one. Just the first one as I'm going down, reading up to down. All right, I want to take out a negative, so I'm going to take out a negative 3. All right, because negative 3 and 15, my GCF is negative 3. So my answer are these terms, 2x minus 3 and x plus 5. Okay, those of you who like the box method when you were foiling, all right, it was the same thing really, except we went backwards. We're pulling out a GCF. Remember when we were foiling, we would do x times 2x and we would have got 2x squared. X times negative 3 and got negative 3x. Negative 3 times 5 and got negative 15. All right, so if you liked using the box method with foiling, this is the same thing. All right, let's try the next one. Okay, it might be a little confused still, but that's okay. We'll just go through a few more examples. Okay, so again, my first step is always to look for a GCF. I have 9, 3, and negative 1. All right, so there's no GCF. Okay, my product is A times C, which is 9 times negative 2, which is negative 18. Okay, and my sum is always this number. Okay, is always my B. So 3. Okay, so I need to come up with two numbers that are going to multiply together to get it negative 18, add to get 3. All right, so I know that that's going to be 6 times negative 3. Okay, 6 plus negative 3 equals 3. Okay, so that's good. So these are my numbers. Okay, let's refresh. What do I do with my numbers? My quadratic term goes in the top left. So that's this one that is the squared. 9m squared. Okay, my constant term goes in the bottom right. That's this negative 2. Alright, and then I'm going to take these terms and they get an m. So 6m, negative 3m. Okay. Alright, so now let's find our GCF. So I'm going to start here. Alright, and I like to think of it like I'm reading. I'm going left to right. Because remember, if the first term was negative, I got to take out a negative. It's not here, it's positive. So 9 and negative 3, I can take out a 3. M squared and m, I can take out an m. 6m and negative 2, I can take out a 2. Alright, because that's the GCF between 6 and negative 2. Going down, 9 and 6. Okay, a lot of people are going to put 6 here. Alright, but the GCF between 9 and 6, a 3 can be taken out of both of those. And then I also have my m's, so I have an m. Alright, negative 3, m, and negative 2. There's no GCF here. Alright, so really my GCF is a 1. I need to write that 1. Okay, but since this is negative, I also need to take out a negative 1. Remember, I said anytime going down or going left to right, if the first term is negative, I got to take out a negative. So my answer would be 3m to the negative first, 3m plus 2. Okay, and if I'm not sure, I can FOIL this, and if I get this as my answer, then I know it was correct. Okay, let's go to the back. Okay. Wow, we're getting really lucky here. There's no GCFs. Alright. But I always want to check first. I have 2, 5, and negative 3. Alright, there's no GCF there. If I had one, I would want to pull it out first. Okay. So I'm going to write no GCF. Okay, my P here is going to be my A times C, so that's 2 times negative 3, which is negative 6. My sum is going to be this term right there, so 5. Okay, and I know that 6 times negative 1, 6 plus negative 1 equals 5. So those are going to be my terms. Okay, my quadratic term, or my first thing here, goes right here, 2p squared. My bottom left goes negative 3. Alright, these, I can write in either one too. I usually write my first one here, but I'll show you, I could write it here. But I do want to make sure I have that p, and negative 1p goes right there. Okay, but it makes no difference. Alright, so let's look going down here. I could go any order here also. 2 and negative 1. There's nothing in common between those two, so I could just take out a p. Going down here, I'm just going to take out a 3. Left to right, 2 and 6, I can take out a 2. P squared and p, I can take out a p. Alright, negative 1 and negative 3. Okay, since this first one, reading left to right, is negative, alright, I need to take out a negative for sure. And then 1 and 3, nothing, so just a 1. Okay, so then when I write my answers, I have a p plus 3 and 2p minus 1. Okay. Alright, I actually, alright, we're going to keep going. Alright, so 6, never mind, sorry. Alright, so no GCF here. Again, no GCF. Alright, but notice this looks a little bit different. I have x squared minus 100. Alright, so I want to rewrite this, x squared. Alright, remember there's no middle term there, like here, 5p. So what do we think it is? Okay, 0p minus 100. Okay, So what's going to be my product? All right, that's going to be negative 100, A times C, remember 1 times negative 100, and my sum is 0. Okay, so negative 10 times 10 is negative 100, negative 10 plus 10 is 0. Okay, this one I actually don't have to use my box. The only reason I use this box, all right, is when this term is not 1, it's bigger than 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4, it's 5. Alright, so since there's no box here, I know that those are my answers. X minus 10, X plus 10. Okay, no problem. Okay. Alright, so let's look at 7. Alright, I have negative 3, negative 2, and 1. Alright, remember, my leading coefficient, okay, is negative 3. Remember I said if it's negative, I have to take out a negative 1. Alright, so I'm going to take out a negative 1. And I have negative 3x squared divided by negative 1 minus 2x divided by negative 1 plus 1 divided by negative 1. Okay, so now I have a negative. This is 3x squared. Negative 2 divided by negative 1 is plus 2x. And 1 divided by negative 1 is negative 1. Alright? Now this is very important. Whenever I have a GCF, right now I have this negative. Alright, maybe I took out a GCF and it was a 3. Whatever I have there, I want to right away rewrite it because it needs to go in my final answer. And if I don't do that right away, I know I'm going to forget about it. Alright, also, once when I take out my GCF, I'm going to cross off this original problem because I never want to look at that again. Okay? So my product is A times C, so that's 3 times negative 1, which is negative 3. My sum is my 2. Okay, so I want 3 times negative 1. 3 plus negative 1 equals 2, so that's it. Alright, those are my terms. Alright, and again, I cross this off because I don't want to use this now. I want my quadratic term of the one I'm using, which is this one. So it's 3x squared. My constant term is the last thing here is negative 1. Alright, and then I use these 3x and negative 1x. Okay, so reading left to right, 3 and negative 1, can't take anything out. X squared and x, can take out an x. Okay, still going left to right, 3x and negative 1, can't take anything out there, so I'm going to write a 1. Okay, remember I always can take out a GCF of a 1. Alright, going down, 3x squared and 3x, I can take out a 3x. And going down here, my first term is negative, so I have to take out a negative 1. So I get 3x to the negative first, and x plus 1. Alright, and negative out front. That's why I wrote it right away. Alright, let's say I took out a 3. I'd have to put that 3 outside there so that it was in my final answer. Okay, last one. Okay, so again, I'm missing something here. I only have 2 terms. So I'm going to rewrite this. Plus 0x minus 9. Alright, I just rewrote a 0 there. Okay. Do I have a GCF? 4, 0, and 9? No, I don't. My product is A times C, so my A times my C is negative 36. My sum is 0. Okay, and I know that's what? 6 times negative 6. 6 plus negative 6 equals 0, so that's what I want. Alright, and I'm going to use these terms. Okay, 4y squared is my quadratic. That goes in my top left. Negative 9 is my constant. That goes in the bottom right. 6y and negative 6y. No GCF. Alright, so let's take out my number going down. I have 4 and 6. I can take out a 2y. Going down here, I can take out a 6 and 9. I can take out a 3. Right? Remember, the first term was negative, so I need to take out a negative. Left to right, 4 and 6. Take out a 2y. 6 and 9. Take out a 3. Okay, 2y minus 3. 2y plus 3. Okay, that's my final answer. Okay, if you finished all this, show Mr. Conrath and grab your homework. Okay, if you have any questions, make sure you guys ask questions, clarify some of this up. Alright, I will see you guys tomorrow.